Hey guys, it's Fook, and today I want to show you how I set up to shoot a 360 degree panorama with my Samsung Gear 360. So let me show you from start to finish, and then I'll link to the finished video with the photos so you can see how it looks like. So this is my Samsung Gear 360, and I have it in its protective pouch. This is it. I'll put it back in while I show you the rest of my gear. I also have this mini Manfrotto tripod that opens out to be like so. You can really use any small, tiny, and that's the key word, tiny little leg tripod here, which will work very well. And I'll explain why that's the case. And then I also have this selfie stick, and I can link to these in the description so you guys know where to find it. But this one's one of those heavy-duty selfie stick. It's called Fugatech. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it, but that's what it is. It is quite heavy-duty. It does come with this Bluetooth kind of controller for shutter release, which I don't really use because I haven't used it with my phone all that much. But what is nice is that there is a 1/4-inch tripod thread right on the bottom here, which is very important. And on top of that, it's got a detente at the top. So on the top, it's got a standard 1/4-inch tripod screw where you're going to put in your Gear 360. But like I said, the important thing is that it has a detente so that it stops right at the top here, which is important, and I'll show you why in a bit. The other thing that I'm doing on this video that's a little bit different is that I'm recording this with my external mic. So I'm wearing a lav mic just because it's kind of noisy outside. There's traffic noise and things like that. So hopefully the sound quality is better. This is actually the first time I'm using this mic for a video, so I hope it turns out all right. So anyways, first things first, we're going to take the camera out. We will unscrew its built-in tripod and go ahead and screw it to the top of the Fugatech. Okay. And there's a little knob here that you tighten it on. And it doesn't really matter because it's 360, you can kind of orient it every which way. But I like to put it so that I have a point of reference. I have this little kind of, I don't know, chrome looking button that I call the front of the selfie stick. And then the back doesn't have anything, it's just black. And what I like to do is to make sure that my front lens on the Gear 360 is facing that, just so I have a point of reference and I know what's front and what's back. And if you're wondering yourself, how do you know what's the front lens and what's the back lens? If you're looking at a lens, if the power button and the controls are on the left of the camera's body as you're looking at it, and basically to your right, then that's the front. So I don't know if you can see that. But if you were looking at this lens, this is your right side. And if you're looking straight forward from it, it's the left side of the body. I don't know if that makes sense. But basically, I've figured it out, so I know how to orient my camera. So I've done that. And then the other thing is to just screw in, and I'm going to kind of straighten this here. Screw in the mini tripod that acts as a leg. Okay, and then I'm going to open it up and make sure that it's absolutely straight top to bottom. I do have a little button here on this Manfrotto. This is about 24 bucks to kind of make sure that it is absolutely straight up and down. Okay, it's a pain in the ass, I'll be honest with you. Now I'm going to extend my selfie stick. There are 3 levels. I'm going to extend it all the way because I want it to be at about eye level. And now when I put it down, you can see that it's leaning. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit down here, press my leg button on the Manfrotto tripod, and adjust it so that it's as straight up and down as I want it to be. Okay, that's pretty good. Now, apparently, there is a $50 version, $45 or $46 version of this Manfrotto tripod leg, which automatically kind of returns to center. And to be honest with you, I now wish that I'd spent the money to get that so that I can easily center the tripod so that when you place on a level land, it's always pointing straight up. Most of the places you're shooting will probably be level, so you're going to use that quite a bit, because the places where it's not level, it's on a slope, whatever, you'll do your adjustments, and then it's very hard to get it back to center. So I wish I had that, but I was thinking I was going to save myself a little bit of money, and I didn't do that. So now that it's set up, I'm going to go ahead and place it so that the front of the lens, which according to my selfie stick is this kind of silver spot here, so that I know point of reference wise, I'm going to kind of point it towards my front door, just because I want it to kind of be the first thing that you see when you look at the camera. And I can see that it's still leaning a little bit, so I'm going to straighten it up again. And now I'm going to turn on the camera by holding on the power button for about 2 seconds. Now it's on. I take out my phone and go ahead and open the Samsung Gear 360 app. And it should already connect to my phone. But I'm gonna launch the app. If it doesn't, and I just heard it beep and it said connected, then I entered into live view. And the rest of this, you kind of know how to take the photo. So one of the reasons that I like using this is that you don't see your hand, because when I first played with this, I was holding in my hand kind of above my head. You know, I was using the built-in legs, which works great, you know, for a pinch, you know, like holding it above my head, whatever, holding it out. But then you see my arm or my misshaping hand from the stitching and things like that, and it's not really nice, okay? So using this leg, the way this works is that this whole selfie stick essentially disappears. When you see it in the result, you'll see what I'm talking about. Using the very small tripod at the bottom there, it also minimizes it when you're looking straight down in the 360 degree view. So now I'm just going to go ahead and stand in front of it. And using my phone, I'm going to snap a picture. So right here looks good in front of my house. And here we go. I don't have a timer, I don't think, so it's going to go right away. That's it. So since we are in very bright condition, I'm going to turn this off and just transfer the photo over. Since we are in very bright condition, shutter speed's really fast. I don't really have to worry. But the one thing that you may or may not notice is that out here it's kind of windy. I have my umbrella and I can see it going, the overhead umbrella. And this is not the sturdiest thing in the world. So a couple of issues. Let me go ahead and turn this off to save the battery. So a couple of issues is that this works great for hiding the tripod. You're going to see the camera that I'm using to make the video, which is a Panasonic LX100, on my big Manfrotto tripod. You know, my standard one, very heavy, very stable, works great. The problem is, if I had this guy on that tripod, you're going to see the plate where it connects to the tripod. You're going to see kind of the head of the tripod. I have a little ball head that controls it. You're going to see the 3 legs very prominently. You're going to see the little handle that is used to control the tripod head and everything. And it gets in the way, frankly, because it kind of appears like right in the middle of the photo, and it's very prominent because it's close to the lens, so you get that distortion. It doesn't look very nice, so you know that's why I use this setup. But the drawback is that in winds, if you don't have very bright lighting condition like this, and you've set your ISO lower so that your shutter speed is relatively slow, you may get blurriness just because it's moving. It does move very slightly in the wind, you can see it. In gusty winds, and sometimes you will be shooting gusty conditions, what's going to happen is that you run a risk of having the whole thing blown over. Unfortunately, at this point, I haven't found any way to mitigate that. So that's just kind of a word of warning to you. If you're going to take photos very quickly, it's not an issue. But if you're going to be out in a windy area for a long time and you're not paying attention to it, you may have a problem just because the leg is, you know, very low to the ground. That's what happens. It's just unstable. anyways, I hope you find this very useful. I'll put a link to the finished photo. So I'm taking a photo, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and kind of make a video out of it, kind of a fake 360 video, so I can put it onto YouTube. So you can see the result and look at the tripod and the leg yourself and see how it turns out. I think it's going to work really well. I hope you guys like it. If you were using your hand before and you see it in the camera and you don't like that, this is a way to avoid it. If you were using a standard tripod and you see the adjustment hands, you see the leg, the base plate and all that, this is going to get rid of it. Anyways, if you like it, found it useful, please give me a thumbs up and check back for more videos on pretty much anything. And I'm going to be posting a bunch of my 360-degree panorama shots with the Samsung Gear 360 on my channel, so check it out. All right, guys, thank you very much, and I'll see you later.